remember the story of this guy from Detroit who walked 21 miles to work every day? His life changed forever when donors crowdsourced $350,000 so he could buy a car. People opened him their wallet, and he wound up with $350,000. But now, that guy's ex-girlfriend, who also happens to be his landlord, is demanding $50,000 for home repairs that she claims are necessary because he was a slob. Since receiving the money, Robertson has moved into his own home in the suburbs and has filed a restraining order against his ex-girlfriend, Tanya Fox. Does she have any legal right to his $350,000 jackpot? Here with the debate, criminal defense attorney Heather Hansen and criminal defense attorney Eric Guster. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
All right, the girlfriend, says he promised he was going to give me $50,000 because he messed up the house. You say she's got a good argument.
Well, first of all, it's fair, right? She was with him 15 of the 16 years that he was doing this walk. She's supporting him, doing all the things that a partner does for one another. So you can understand the fairness argument. In addition, under the law, if you make a promise to someone and they rely on that promise to their detriment, you actually may be held responsible for paying up on that promise.
Let me ask you something. If you make a promise like that, isn't it a contract, and shouldn't something be signed? Or, Eric, shouldn't they be married?
Absolutely not. This is why she's the ex-girlfriend. I'm not going to call her a gold digger like Kanye's song says. I'm not going to call her a gold digger, but when money comes into play, people change. And she wanted a piece of his pie. And lucky for him, Michigan outlawed common law marriage in 1957, so she doesn't have a leg to stand on.
But you know what? You're right that I would argue that he's the one that changed. He's the one that moved out. He's the one that got a brand new TV. He's the one
She
that
wasn't driving him to work.
But she's taking care of him when he comes home.
He was walking to work for 12 years.
She
didn't say,
honey, how about a lift?
I'm going to drive you to work. You need to walk 21 miles.
She's taking good care of him when he gets home, but that's not the reason she gets the money. She gets the money because contracts don't have to be written down. And if she relied on his promise, if she made any changes to the house because he said he'd give her money, if she knocked down a wall because he said he'd give her money, she gets the money.
Here's one of the problems I have with it. According to the news sources out there, her boyfriend lived with her for 15 years in a house she inherited through a family member. He was paying her $800 a month for, I think, 15 years. She's the one who actually made a lot of money off of him.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues. You know, you never get your honey where you have to spend your money. And that is what happened in this particular case. This man was paying her, and they were boyfriend-girlfriend, and when more money came into play, then there was an issue.
Right.
So, like I said, lucky for him, he wasn't married to her, because then she would be entitled.
Heather, I know you've got to make the argument that she's got a good case, but you got to admit she shouldn't get the money.
Listen, ultimately, she's not going to get the money.
Right.
She would have a really tough uphill climb, and I was hoping for the luck of the Irish to win this argument today, but there's just no way it's happening.
Well, lucky it's not 21 miles like he was walking to work without her taking him.
We thank you very much. By the way, you both have to walk home. Eric and Heather, thank you very much.
Don't make me walk to Brooklyn.
What do you think? Email us friends@foxnews.com. That was one of the best legal debates we've ever had.